Go live. Go live! I gotta plug my phone into charge. Ugh, was not prepared for that. Phone is not charging. Why you do this to me, cell phone? There we go. What's going on, dudes? What up, everyone? Zekai, what's going on? AJ, Oreo. You guys, what's poppin'? I don't know what's going on, but what's going on? I don't even know why the stream has such a weird delay. I'm just not a huge fan of it, but happy Friday, you guys. Should I risk 2 to 3K on a stock and see it if it skyrockets? Just mean I won't be able to mod the Mazda. I am not in any position to give anyone any type of financial advice. I'm just not doing that. David, what's going on, dude? Mariano, what is up? What is up, my friend? Send some warm thoughts. It's 6 degrees Fahrenheit here right now. Yeah, it's cold. It is like cold. It's snowing right now, which it like very rarely snows up here. So pretty pumped for the snow. Hopefully we get some more. Yesterday we got like a light dusting, maybe like an inch, not much at all, especially compared to like some of where you guys are. But we got a little bit of snow. It's like stupid cold outside. After like 20 minutes of working out in the garage, just nope, done. My man, what's going on, Raphael? 4 Ice. Yo, what up, my friend? What's up, homies? What up, Byron? Bort Forts, Christian. I'm watching Interstellar. I have never seen Interstellar, so hopefully it is a good program. I don't know if that's a movie or a show. I don't even know what Interstellar is, but hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's good. Matthew will be joining us soon when they get back from running errands as well, so prepare for Matthew to swing in and help out with some questions tonight. Sup? What's up, Omi? Austin, what's going on, dude? Daniel, Kenji? I think I got that one right. Hola, my friend. Affordable suspension. I mean, that really depends on what your budget is and what your definition of affordable is. I mean, it could be coilover suspension, or coilovers, lowering springs. You could be talking about like sway bars. Little more detail on that one just because that can kind of encompass a lot. Josh, what's poppin', dude? Yo, it's cold over here too, Montana. -10? Nope. That's a big nope for me. Big nope for me. I had Fine Knock learn a 5.25 today. I wouldn't sweat it unless your dam is all over the place. Alex, what's going on, dude? Hello, Tanner. How are you? I am doing pretty good, my friend. How are you? So happy to join the live. Well, welcome. Is 710 RPM idle too low? I mean, that really depends on what's all done to your car. If it's stock, I mean, stock, it can fluctuate a little bit, like here to, like, you'll have a range of fluctuation. Normally under 1,000 is pretty standard. David, appreciate the dono, dude. Swinging in early with the donos. Always appreciate it, my friends. Always goes back into the channel. And I also want to give a huge shout out to anyone and everyone that has placed a merch order today. If it is something that I have in stock, it is shipping out to you guys tonight. If it's one of the hoodies or t-shirts that we're pre-ordering right now, I'm putting in the order on Monday for all of the sizing. Like I said, this is really the first time I've been able to open everything up to every size available, just because in the past I've just bulk bought everything and then just shipped out what I had in stock. So pretty excited to be able to offer every size, from the smallest to the largest to the medium to the middle to the I don't know where it's fallen, but appreciate everyone who has placed an order. And if anyone does, feel free to swing over to the website. You guys got till Monday before I close off any of the pre-order sizes, and then it's going to be limited sizing and limited quantity from there on. Daniel, me and my son watching. Say hi to my boy Nico. Well, what's going on, Nico? Hope you're having a good Friday kicking it with your dad, dude. I don't even want to try to pronounce your... I'm gonna just completely demolish your name if I try to pronounce it, but I'll... XV Raiden? I think I got that one right. Josh, pretty good flick. I might have to check it out. Highly recommend Interstellar. Great movie. Interstellar is phenomenal. Okay, everyone's suggesting Interstellar. I guess I'm going to have to check out Interstellar. Sonny, how's the weather situation? I'm right down in Portland, so it's going to be a fun morning to wake up to for sure. I mean, we have some snow outside, and it's like the slippery snow. It's like the sticky, slippery snow. It's kind of depressing having like all this snow and no working Subarus. Well, my personal Subaru's not working. We went out, we played with Matt's Subaru a little bit last night. Hopefully, we can get back out there tomorrow because I'd love to be able to shoot a video of just playing around in the snow with Matt's Outback because I know a lot of you guys have been asking for some of that Outback content also. So hopefully, we can get out there tomorrow to go play with that. Fox, hello! Charlie, what's going on, dude? So stoked to get my hoodie in, for real. I love those ones. I got the samples in. Absolutely love the samples. I've been wearing them the past couple days. They're all dirty right now, so I got the old school drive hoodie on right now. But hey, can't go wrong with this one either. Would you say it's a good or bad idea to buy an older STI with a rebuilt engine with all of the paperwork? I mean, realistically, if you have all the paperwork, still do a compression test, do a leak down test. Go ahead and do all of that just to make sure you're getting a solid car. Expect problems. Even though the motor's been rebuilt, you're still going to probably have to go through there and do some updated maintenance on whether like bushing, suspension, any of that kind of stuff. Older STIs, they are beat on for the most part, so you're going to have to spend a little bit of money. But as long as it's a solid car and you don't get one like I got, it's not a bad pickup. Which we found out today. Our buddy, one of our buddies, swung over and noticed on two of the pistons, the side that had all the demolished valves, the pistons did make contact with the valve. So I mean, that's a blast. That's cool. We're still gonna run it, but you know, that's a blast. Hey man, doing a trunk swap tomorrow and have somewhat of an idea of what to do. How do you do them? Pull off all the accessories of the trunk that you want to keep. There's 4 bolts and a wiring harness, and the trunk just comes right off. It's like stupid easy. You can do it. Oh, Chris Burke. Chris Burke. If it isn't Chris Burke, it's just coffee, my friend. It is just coffee. Dunkin' Donuts as per usual, because I love me some Dunkin' Donuts. I'm doing head gaskets on my WRX. You are making me push to get it done. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Get those head gaskets done. Get that good seal right in there. Do it. Get it done. Get it knocked out. Our front and rear sway bar is worth it for the 15 plus STI. I've been thinking about getting the parent strut tower brace. Honestly, you're not going to see a huge improvement with just the parent strut tower brace. If you're looking for like the best bang for the buck suspension mod, it's going to be like a rear sway bar with some rear end links. That'll help clean up some of the understeer that the car comes from the factory with. Makes it feel a little bit better. Robert, what's up? Tom! What up, Tom? How you doing, dude? Mods that won't void engine and transmission warranty for 18 WRX. Dress up parts. That's it. You start going in there, you change anything mechanical about the engine. It's not going to necessarily completely void the warranty, but it is going to give your dealer a reason to deny warranty claims. And your boy's not going to be liable for if any of your dealers decide to like deny any warranty claims you try to make because I said this part's going to be okay to throw on there. So dress up parts. There you go. Maybe some bushings for the transmission, but that's probably about it. Coilover, what you don't like about the Raceland? Too stiff. They were a little bit stiffer than I wanted. The adjustability really wasn't there. The shocks were pretty much at the end of their life. And if I was buying coilovers, I wasn't going to buy Racelands. So BC was a solid replacement for me. Personally, just not a huge fan of Racelands. I've also seen one pair snap in the past, causing a good friend of mine to like veer off into a tree because obviously he had no suspension on that side of the car anymore. The coilovers were not that old either. I want to say they were like 2 months old max or something like that. So personally, I'm just not a huge fan of Raceland. It could have been something that he hit on the road, maybe a big pothole that just caused the coilover to damage and break, but not a big fan. What do I say to people who knock on my 17 WRX and say it's not an STI? I mean, what's the problem? It's your car. Who cares if they don't like it? If they don't like it, then go do their own thing. Then go play with their own STIs. Whatever. WRXs are good cars. They get better fuel economy. They're more efficient. They're easier to tune. You can make easier power with them up to about 400 wheel horsepower. There's nothing wrong with the WRXs. I've had plenty of F8. Well, I've had 2 F820 WRXs. I enjoyed them. I liked them. Nothing wrong with them. What up, bro? What up, Katon? Katon? Katon. I think Katon or Katon. Not sure. But what up, dude? I live in Saskatchewan, and it was negative 45 degrees Celsius. Hold up. Hold up. Celsius to Fahrenheit conversion. Negative 45. No, thank you. No, thank you. That is no. That's way too cold for me. I'd turn into a popsicle outside. I work outside every single day. That would not work for me at all. Not one bit. Not one bit. Hopefully you're staying warm, dude. Yo, I'm installing hub rings. What do they really do? I never had to get any for my vehicle, but was told to get some. So on some wheels, the inner I don't want to call it, it's not necessarily the diameter, but the chamfer sometimes can be a little different from wheel to wheel. So to get it to sit properly and flush on the hub, you get a hub ring, sits in there, makes the wheel sit flush up against the hub. So that way it eliminates any possibility of movement. They're a good idea. They're pretty cheap also. I think they're like, what, $5 each or something like that for the hub rings? Worth it. Worth it, I promise. Happy Lunar New Year. Happy Lunar New Year, everyone. I didn't even know it was Happy Lunar New Year. I didn't even know I was supposed to be wearing red. I conveniently am wearing a red t-shirt today. It was all in destiny. It was all fate. Hello from West Virginia. We'll be getting some merch now. That's what I'm talking about. If anyone does want to grab some of the new merch, like I said, the pre-order is open until Monday, and then I'm shutting off the pre-order and just ordering all of the sizes that everyone wanted. I will order a little bit of stock to keep here also, but sizing and quantity will be extremely limited to what I decide to snag based off of what I'm seeing everyone else order. So expect those to ship out in about 2 weeks or so. Like I said, order will go on Monday. I'll probably get them the following week, and then they'll probably ship out from here. They'll ship out same day I get them, so it's awesome. I appreciate it, you guys, always. Love all the new merch designs also. They came out incredible. I'm very happy with them. They're a lot more simple, sophisticated, I guess you could say. I'm digging them. I like them. How hard is it to swap out the spark plugs? I have a whole video dedicated on swapping out spark plugs. It is really not as bad as people make it out to be. Once you've done it enough times, you can get them done in about 20 minutes or so. It's not too bad. A lot of people use like swivels and like extension or like swivels, the elbow doodads. I don't use any of that. Just kind of makes things a little more complicated in my opinion. Just getting in there with a small extension and a spark plug socket has seemed to work very well for me in the past. But if you do need a dedicated walkthrough, I do have an entire video showing how to do spark plugs. It's pretty universal to all Subarus at that point. AJ, happy Lunar New Year to you as well, my friend. Rishi, hi! Definitely buying the camo hoodie. When flushing your brake fluid after replacing the lines, do you have to cycle the ABS? I mean, it's a good idea to go through there. It's not necessary, but assuming that some air got in there, it doesn't hurt to get all of the air out of the system. I think they make some relatively cheap vacuum bleeders. I'm not entirely sure on that one, but just going around and doing the standard brake bleed procedure, following the bleeding order will get primarily all of the air out. Sometimes you might have to go back through there 2 or 3 times to make sure you get it all out, but well worth it. Chris, I see you. Quit spamming the chat or else I'm going to take away your typing abilities, my man. We don't spam chat. No chat spamming. You have to risk it to get the biscuit. That's what I'm saying, Jose. Chris, don't do it, dude. Don't do it, dude. Just because I've known you forever don't mean you get exceptions to the rules, my friend. AOS, what's different between comp and street? Well, the comp vents everything to the atmosphere. The street vents it all back into the system. Also, the competition series does require a tune adjustment versus the street series not needing a tune adjustment, so you are pretty solid there. If you're looking for just a plug-and-play model, get the street series over the competition. Typically, you don't need the competition unless you're really getting into high horsepower stuff. You don't really need the competition until you get into high horsepower stuff. I believe IAG states at like 600 plus, 700 plus, or somewhere in there. I don't know. They haven't like an entire chart broken down. I'm not banning Chris. I've known Chris for years. Chris is a friend of mine. I'm not banning anyone, Chris. I'll just take away chat abilities. Get out of here. No more of that. But anyways, yeah, street series is a lot easier. You missed my comment, Chris. I did not miss your comment, dude. I did not miss it. What you sipping on, bro? That's what you said. I said coffee. I did not miss your comment. Today was fun in Vancouver. New Subi was ripping. That's what I'm talking about, dude. That is what I am talking about. Quit the argue. Chris, quit. Stop. Just stop with the poking. Stop with the poking. Smedia, I'm buying a WRX soon. Would I be better off finding a deal for a new base model or buy a 2018 to 2020 certified? Personally, I'd probably get the 2018-2020 certified. It's typically going to save you a couple $1,000s, and if it is a certified car, it's a pretty safe bet when you're getting a certified one, just because they go through a lot more of an extensive inspection when the car comes in and before it gets sold. Personal preference, I don't like buying brand new cars either. I like buying all my cars used. It's just a little more, I don't know, they have a little more character to them in my opinion. Personal thing there, but I would get the certified one. Also, Plumber, appreciate the dono, dude. Coming in early with the donos. You guys absolutely kill it every single stream. I love it. 38mm wastegate. What spring do I need to use for 18 PSI with electronic boost controller? Like, what's a good bar to start with? So, I would run that question by your tuner, whoever's going to be tuning the car, because they're going to have you set the spring pressure to whatever they ideally want. It's also going to depend on what turbo you're running. But typically, 0.9 bar is a pretty safe bet. What is it? 14.7 is 1 bar, so it's right under, I don't even know, what is 14.7 minus 1.47, whatever that comes down to. 0.9 bar is a pretty safe bet. But double check with your tuner, because they're going to give you a lot more accurate information since they're the one tuning the car. Pro, STI. Pro, what up, dude? Do I regret selling the BRZ? Yes and no. It was a fun car, but it just wasn't practical for what I was doing. Plus, I'm glad I sold it, because then I wouldn't have gotten all this like awesome 05 STI stuff going on. I missed having an EJ since we pulled and sold the EJ out of the 17 STI to start doing the EG33 swap in that one. So yes and no, I do miss it, and at the same time I don't miss it, if that makes sense. What else we got? Dirty, or I always say Dirty Doug, and it's Doug Dirty every time. I'm sorry, dude. Rally crossing a Miata this weekend. Should be fun. When you rally crossing? Well, first I need a running car. I need a running car before we can start like doing any type of like rally cross racing, and we need to get it tuned. So maybe at some point in the future, I would definitely be down to. It would definitely be a lot of fun, and I would probably be all over the place learning how to do it. If you're going from a non-STI to an STI wing for the trunk, make sure to swap out the torsion bars. That's true. If you are doing a trunk swap, the torsion bars are going to be the worst part. Get in there with a good pry bar. You can typically pop them out pretty easy. The WRX ones come out a lot easier than the STI ones. But even if you don't swap them, I mean, in the past, I've never had any huge issues with not swapping out the torsion bars. In the 17 STI, we had that big APR wing on there, and I have WRX torsion bars in there. Never really had an issue. The wing or the trunk just wouldn't fly up anymore, which I'm totally fine with. Best timing belt kit 2012 STI, either OEM or Aisin, AICIN. They use like good JDM quality parts. One of those two is what I'd go with. Stay away from Gates. I've heard a lot of issues with Gates. I haven't used Gates in years. So hopefully you go with one of those two. Best way to keep an engine more cool. It gets like 100 degrees in the summertime in my area. 2019 STI and coolant temps and intake. Reducing IATs. Some hood vents are a very good idea, or the fender vents that actually suck hot air out. A relocated IAT sensor would probably not be a bad idea either, because that's going to give you a lot more accurate IAT temperatures versus what you're reading off of the mass airflow sensor. But in regard, like a larger radiator will make it a little more efficient in cooling. If you want an oil cooler, that will definitely help. You got to look at doing stuff both to the motor and aero to help try to suck hot air out and get cool air in. If you have a front mount intercooler, block off the hood scoop with the Verus Engineering one. It does help redirect air through the front mount. And plus, if you have the hood vents, it'll help push the hot air up and out. There's a lot you can do. It just kind of depends on what your setup is and what you're going to be using the car for. If it's just a daily driver, at that point, I'll just do like a larger radiator, maybe an oil cooler. Relocated IAT sensor, and probably work on adding some like heat shielding in the engine bay, whether it's like a turbo blanket, gold reflective heat tape, anything like that, and that should help keep temps down a little bit. What about the tension bars on the trunk swap? I mean, it's hit or miss. If you want to swap them out, go for it. If you don't want to, I mean, I've never had issues. If you're going from a STI wing to a wingless, though, and you don't swap the torsion bars, that trunk's going to fly open at you. So if that's the case, I would swap them out. What happened to Tuesday's live stream? I was at the mod garage picking up parts for the 05 STI, so I had to do an emergency parts run up there before the snowstorm happened, just because I didn't want to have to deal with trying to drive up there in traffic if our heads got done. So I had to swing up there, grab the intake and exhaust valves, the Viton valve seals, and a couple other smaller things for the heads. So I had to do an emergency parts run. That's why we're here today, though. Let's keep it on track with Friday. I'm sorry. I apologize for missing Tuesday. You can probably rent a car if you pay the driver's entry. Oh, that's not a bad idea. Oh, at the rally car. I was thinking of going to like Enterprise and renting a car. I was like, I don't think they'd want me to do that. I don't think they'd like that. Which piston material is better for daily and occasional tracking? That one I would double check with your engine builder versus what I'm going to tell you, because they're going to give you a lot more accurate information than what I'm going to tell you. Crawford V3 AOS and Cobb Stage 1 Plus package for the 710 idle question. So it's a Crawford V3 AOS. I mean, 710 idle, I mean, I wouldn't worry too much on that one. If you have an access port, you can adjust idle a little bit too if you really want to bump it up. But at 710, I wouldn't worry too much. If you really want to turn on the AC, it'll kick idle up a little bit more also. Nizair, I think I got that one right. Yo, what up, dude? Snowing where I'm at in Washington and Ording. You are not too far. You were like 25 minutes away from me, my dude. 25 minutes away. It is snowing up here too where I'm at. Irving, hey man, I just subscribed to like your STI and the Blob Eye too. I used to have one. Hey, appreciate the support, my dude. Appreciate the support, man. Blob Eyes, they're fun cars. I love my Blob Eye. A lot of people have been asking me if I'd be willing to sell it. The Blob Eye will not be for sale. I like that car a little bit too much to want to even sell it. But yeah, Blob Eyes, they're like getting harder to come by. I'm so happy today. I just got all the boost leaks taken care of. Congrats, by the way. I got the new Cobb EBCS in the car with the tune. And we got snow in Vancouver. What could be better? Ooh, sounds like you got a pretty solid setup to go play in the snow. Pretty solid setup to go play in the snow. I'm kind of jealous because none of mine work. Danny, yo, I just started watching you when I was in Cali. Now I am in the Pacific Northwest. Job moved me here. I noticed, dude, when you placed a couple orders on the website, saw that you were up local. So hope to see you around, my dude. Well, obviously, once my cars are running, I'm actually like out and about and not just like hanging out at the house. But yeah, saw you were local, man. Hi. What is that? Come in here. Come in. What is this? What is this? Is this the... What is this?
I asked the guy, and he said this was fun beer.
This is fun beer? Stone salt and lime lager?
Sea salt
lager?
Sea salt and lime.
Sea salt and lime?
He said it's like a margarita in a beer.
It's a margarita in a beer?
That's what he said.
I'll open this after I drink my coffee.
He was also only like 18, though, so I don't know how much I would trust
You
that,
took an alcohol recommendation from an 18-year-old?
Okay, he was probably like 21 or 22 because he was working at Total Wine.
Okay, I'll try it after I finish my coffee. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hopefully it tastes good. I believe it will. Maybe. Hopefully. That's cute. It was negative 62. Not about it. I'm not about like all this like super cold. Snowing here in Yakima, sitting at a crisp 18 degrees. Ooh! That's cold. That's cold for me. What can I do to reduce power steering on high... What can I do to reduce power steering? Like, you want to take away... I don't know. You want to reduce... Like, you want to take away power steering when you're at high speed? So what? That way it's a lot harder to... I don't know on that one. I'm not quite sure. I mean, maybe you could put... Nope. I have no idea because then you'd run the pump dry. I think you'd have to run the power steering pump on a switch. So that way you could turn the power steering pump off if you wanted to. I don't know how safe that is, though. Yo, bro, what up? I'm happy to be here. Hey, what's going on, Master Chief? What turbo blanket do you recommend for FP Green? I've got a 15 STI. So I was kind of curious on this also when I was looking around for turbo blankets for the FP Black, and it comes to find out, like, the PTP Lava blanket fits right up, fits perfect, awesome fitment. It should fit the green, no problems also. So PTP. My knock got worse, negative 8.44. I'm pretty sure it's my oil 15W40. If you guys are seeing like increased knock or things like that, like look around your knock sensor. If you have like a loose bolt up in there and it's rattling on top of the engine bay, that can also cause your knock sensor to go off. So if you have like excessive knock sometimes, just look around the knock sensor, see if there's anything loose or like flopping around up there. Yo man, gotta sell P2016 intake manifold runner position sensor switch on my WRX, and it lasted for like a day and then went away. Could this be caused due to cold weather? I mean, in severe, I'm talking like super cold weather, yeah, you might get some weird check engine lights come up, especially if your car's sitting outside overnight and it's like, I don't know, around 10 to like 18 degrees, somewhere in that range, or like much colder, then obviously there might be some issues that come up. I would definitely keep an eye on it if it continues to come up as weather gets back to normal or as it increases and actually raises again, and it continues to go off. At that point, I'd start digging around in there trying to find out what could be causing it. But yeah, cold weather could be a cause to some random check engine lights. Also, since we're on the topic of cold weather right now, For those of you that are in like extremely cold areas, keep an eye on your air oil separators if you do have one installed. IAG put this out a couple years ago, and I've talked about this in other streams, but the return line on some air oil separator, well, most air oil separators will freeze in like super, super cold temperatures, and you do not want that return line to freeze up. So just keep an eye. If you are in an area that is like extremely cold, just go down there, like squeeze it, feel it a little bit, make sure you don't feel any like ice or like frozen material in there. If you do, I would probably try to heat that up with like a heat gun or something before driving the car, just because you don't want anything to get backed up in there. Tomas? I think I got that one right. Appreciate the dono, dude. Thanks for always sharing knowledge and answering questions. Much love from Canada. Hey, appreciate it, man. Hopefully you're staying warm up there also. Am I thinking about doing an 18 plus front bumper swap? No, I am not. I like my 2017 front bumper. I like it a little bit more than the newer models. I know some people are going to be like, ew, why do you like the older one? I don't know. I like the older one. It looks good. And I have a lot of like parts invested into that bumper that I don't want to swap them all out. Yo, where are we going snow drifting tonight? Tacoma Mall, Auburn parking lot. Do you go to like, those are like the most cop heavy places if you're going to go snow drifting out there. We got secret spots. Zekai, 2022 BRZ or 400Z? That is an easy question. 400Z, hands down. The next car I get will be a Nissan or a Mazda, but it's primarily probably going to be a Nissan. So I'm going with Nissan on that one. Hisham, love the content, bro. Keep it up. Hey, appreciate it, my dude. David, what do I do for work? It's YouTube, you guys. I do YouTube full time. That's how I'm able to do all these live streams for you guys, do a video every other day for you guys. I mean, they're not always the most exciting videos sometimes, but I keep the content rolling because this is my full-time thing. And if I don't show up to work, then it's just like if you guys don't show up to work, except I'm my own boss, and if I'll yell at myself. I haven't missed a day yet. I don't think I've missed an upload in like 5 months, and I plan on keeping that pretty solid. I will spam your video. Don't do it. Don't do it, Chris. Hey, how's the bug eye? Just waiting on the heads to come back from the machine shop at this point. We have pretty much all of the head parts back, or all the new head parts here. Valves, valve springs, Viton valve seals, valve seats, valve hats, valve guides. The cams just need to be cleaned up. They can be put back in. I might do some measurements just to figure out piston height to deck height. Because if the piston's going out a little bit too far, when we were out there, we did see that the piston did make contact with the valves, which is why every intake valve was bent. I'm going to clean the pistons up a little bit, and it should be totally fine to like continue running. But, ooh, excuse me. But we're getting there. The blob eye's getting there. I have gained a lot of love for rotary engines. I love rotary engines. I love weird engines. I like weird engines, flat engines, rotary engines, all the fun kind of engines. They're different. They're fun. I like them. Sweet, they were $10 for a set of 4 next week. We'll be getting big maintenance or semi-big oil and oil filter, transmission, diff, and spark plugs. Ooh, so I can start my e-tuning. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, just picked up my 14WX hatch tonight. Congrats, Adam. Congrats on the hatch, man. And Connor! Appreciate the dono, dude. We got the singing cat in there. We got the Superman pair. Always appreciate the donos, guys. You guys absolutely kill it every single stream with them. I don't even know. I was going to transition into something after I said that. But your boy appreciates it. Everything goes back into the channel, you guys. What RPM should you daily drive on? Well, I mean, that really depends on the driving situation that you're in. If you're sitting in traffic, if you're just cruising, if you're just driving, if you're getting on it, if you're going what. Typically, if I'm just going from like point A to point B, I'll shift around like 3,000, 3,500 RPM and keep it under that. Primarily between like 2,500 and 3,500, somewhere in that range. Terry. Hey, bro, it's Terry Check-in. Jesus. Terry checking in from Randolph, Massachusetts. What's going on, dude? Thanks for all the great intel. Just installed a K&N OEM air filter on my 18WX. Feels a little more edgy. Ooh, very nice. I bet you that cold air up there is definitely feeling a little bit better also. Get all that nice, like, super cold air getting sucked in. Ooh, that's what we like. That's what we like. Looking at stage 3 Grimspeed install, would you suggest what is Grimspeed stage 3? I don't even know what that would condone. I know what Cobb stage 3 is, but I have no idea what Grimspeed's is. What is that? Like downpipe intake intercooler? I wouldn't do downpipe and intake, though, without doing fueling modifications on a 2017 STI. You guys, I talked about that in the past. I don't know what, if it's a 2015 plus STI, I would not suggest doing intake and downpipe without fuel mods, but I'm not entirely sure what Grimspeed Stage 3 kit entails. I think it's an intercooler intake and downpipe. If someone can confirm that, that'd be awesome, but I don't know off the top of my head. If running a flex fuel tune, should the spark plugs be changed more often? What interval do you go with on your 2017 STI? So whenever I run flex fuel, typically, I mean, I stick with my standard spark plug change interval of like 15 to 20,000 miles. Subaru, what does Subaru suggest? 60,000 miles. It doesn't hurt to change them out any sooner. A lot of people... When I did the reliability video like a way long time ago, a lot of people got like all upset because I was like, I change my spark plugs every 15 to 20,000 miles. And everyone's like, you're going to damage the threads in the head. You're not going to damage the threads in the head unless you go to cross thread the hell out of that spark plug going in there. So personally, like 15, 20,000 miles is whenever I do mine. I hear a glass. Are you coming in to join?
Oh, hi.
Welcome. What do you got?
I don't know.
What's in your cup?
It started out as an old fashioned, now it's...
Now it's pink.
I don't know. And
You
I
have a
forgot
nice-
the orange juice had pulp in it, so now it's all nasty.
Oh.
So.
When is the swap going to be done? I don't have the new short block back yet, so the swap probably, I don't know. I'm aiming to get the car running this year. That's my goal. To get the 17 STI running this year. It's a doable goal.
You got like 10 months.
That's 10 months.
You can do it.
I mean, once we get them up, the longest wait time is done. The longest wait time is done, and that was the motor.
Yeah.
But we're still waiting on the motor, so I mean...
Well, what are you doing about the trans?
We're going to send the trans as is right now.
What's going to happen once the trans blows up?
Then when the trans blows up, we'll do like sequential or something. Matt! Fox says hi.
Hi, what's up, Fox?
What up, Fox? What's going on, Fox?
Dude.
Jack, what's up, Tanner? How's your day? It's pretty cold up here in Federal Way. Cannot wait to take the Blob IWX in the snow. Jealous. I wish my cars worked right now. Hey, Tanner, any update on the EG33? Yes, so, as you guys saw, the case halves were damaged when we unboxed them. Out front is already machining the new case halves for half-inch head studs. They're already closed decking them, doing everything. They're getting them hot tanked, cleaning them up. So once FedEx closes out the claim, we're going to ship this EG33 back down to California. I'm going to make a wooden skid with like a crate going around it to like interlock it into place, so that way it will not get damaged. They're going to swap the internals from this EG33 into the new EG33. Then we're going to get it back, and then we'll put the heads on. We'll start mounting it up in the car at that point, you know.
Birthday cake.
It's coming along. What's up? What's up? Like, Jamal. Yo, what up, dude? Felipe, what's going on, man? Got an 06 STI. The steering rack is leaking. Should I rebuild it or buy a new one? Get the 15 plus STI steering rack.
Yes.
Get that
I
one.
second that.
Better turning radius.
I put it in my Outback.
He put it in his Outback.
Made it work.
Put it in his... Oh, you guys are going to be so pumped on this. We're shooting a video on the Outback tomorrow. Everyone wanted Outback content. We're getting Outback content. Finally doing some Outback content. Outback will be fun. We'll go play in the snow with the Outback. We'll do like some fun cinematic stuff.
If I get 5 million likes, I'll crash it into a wall.
What?
No, don't do that.
What?
It'll happen.
What does a VA, WRX, and STI feel like compared to a BRZ? I have access to BRZ when I desire, but never been in a WRX STI. So, I mean, the BRZ is going to feel a lot more controllable, nimble, a lot more driver responsive than a WRX or an STI will. An STI feels a lot more mechanical and driver connected, while the WRX is more of a... It's a fun commuter car that's easily tunable. Like, that's the best way I can describe it. It's not going to give you the same steering response and nimbleness of the BRZ, and it's not going to give you the same mechanical feeling as an STI would. But I feel like it's a good way of describing it. Like, they're all fun cars.
Still, if you're not really looking for it, you may not notice a huge difference between a WRX and an STI.
I don't know. I feel like you notice a pretty big difference. You have the rev hang in the WRX. The transmission feels entirely different. The suspension you probably wouldn't feel a huge change in. It's primarily just going to be like driving response, sound, transmission. It's probably going to be it. Interior is pretty much same.
Build an Evo 8.
Cobb fuel pressure regulator or Aeromotive. Aeromotive, do your own fuel lines. It's easy. I have a whole video showing you guys how to make fuel lines. Not that bad. Build an Evo 8. I would love to, but Evos are stupid expensive. They're literally stupid expensive.
Yeah, they're pretty overpriced right now.
They're insanely overpriced. The Evo that I was going to buy back in December instead of buying the 05 STI is still for sale.
Really?
They should have taken my offer. It has been for sale for 4 months. They're asking $25,000 for it. I offered them 20 with 5,000 cash down.
I'm trying to like put a JDM tax on that.
Yeah, and they told me no. I was like, dude, it's an '03 Evo 8 with 111,000 miles on it, and he wanted 25. It is still for sale, I believe.
Probably already needs a transmission.
A transfer case. One day we will build an Evo. I do want an Evo 9. I've wanted one for a very long time, so at some point in the future I will get an Evo, but right now it's just not a feasible option. What's good, Tanner? What's good? WR capital X. What's going on, dude? Doug, I can't afford to buy it anymore, but what did your tuner end up saying about the 4-port with an FP Black? I didn't get like a solid, straightforward answer back. Have you heard of people using 4-port boost controllers on Subarus?
No.
Neither have I. They're out there.
Even,
they
like,
make
the
them.
weirdest thing is like the anti-surge one, but
I mean, I've seen that one,
that's
but a
still not a
4-port, I've
4-port.
never seen anyone use.
unless you're like incorporating like a mechanical boost controller into
Well, you're
it or
doing
something.
a
Doing some
EBCS
weird,
and a
like
mechanical.
multi-stage thing, or
I don't know. I didn't get a straightforward answer back from him. I guess it's just not something that a lot of 3 ports. I mean, 3 ports are.
I don't think there's a point when there's people easily making 4 figures on without having to do anything different than a 3-port.
We need to make 5.
We need
5 figures.
a 5-port.
A 5-port. They make them. I don't know how it works.
I don't know.
Bruh, Miggy, what's going on, dude? What did you do for a living prior to being full-time YouTuber? I love the content. Keep it up. From Toronto. What's going on, dude? Well, prior to YouTube, I was a product manager for a biochemical engineering company that made cleaning products for gas stations. So I really just managed product life cycles, did product testing, a little bit of microbiology here and there. It was fun, but I got tired of sitting in a cubicle, and my boss and I didn't get along, I should say. So we parted ways. Now here we are. Here we are, living life. Chat jump. Don't do that, chat. Oh my goodness. Okay, no, I'm not that far. Oh, I lost the highlighted comment that I was on. Here we go. Not the second time. I'm running Airlift 3P on my 18 STI. What wheel specs would you recommend for a flip to Fender Fitment? I currently have 18 by 9.5 plus 22, and they're too wide. That just means run more camber and skinnier tires. Honestly, whenever it comes to doing Fender to lip fitment, it's a lot of custom fitting with wheel sizes, tire sizes, suspension setups, camber caster, and toe. Typically, you're still going to want toe to be near 0. Caster adjustment, I mean, if you have the ability to adjust that, you can use that to your advantage a little bit when getting Fender to lip, but it's primarily going to be camber control, tire size, and wheel size. Whether your fenders are rolled, pulled, there's a lot that goes into it. You're just going to have to experiment. Like, look up on some forums, post up on a couple Subaru groups. I could give you, like, a spec that I have for Fender to lip fitment, but it's not going to be the exact same for you unless you go in there and you match every little single thing. Plus suspension height, too. Because even though you're on bags, even though you air all the way out, the car may not be all the way on the ground. You're still going to have to change, like, height on the bag itself. There's a lot of specs that go into doing something like that.
Yeah, it's essentially just a lot of trial and error.
It's a ton of trial and error. Jay Ronaldo, what's up, dude? Saucy STI, what up, dude? Hey, guys, which Tomei header do you recommend for my 2016 STI? Unequal length or equal length? I'm running a Tomei exhaust with Grim Speed downpipe and uppipe. You want to take this one?
I always recommend equal length.
Oh.
It's more efficient, but obviously if you have unequal length, you get better sound.
I mean, you're choosing sound or efficiency.
Yeah, it's like the people that like to be like, oh, I want the blow-off valve. That sounds super awesome, but it leaks past like 20 psi. So.
Yeah. I mean, with equal length headers, you're going to get reduced EGTs in cylinders 2 and 4 also because of runner length, which isn't going to cook your cylinders, which is going to reduce knock. So if you're looking for increased efficiency, more top-end power, a little smoother of a spool, I guess you'd say.
It's smoother, and they've tested that it comes on quicker. I mean,
that also depends on the turbo setup, too.
And then it's probably easier to tune for, just because you have more control.
What, equal exhaust pulses?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there we go.
But if you like the Subi Rumble, I mean, you're probably not hurting much by staying on equal length.
No, I mean, if you're going to run unequal length, I'd still suggest doing like a cylinder 4 cooling mod at minimum, just to try to help things out a little bit. But I mean, you should be fine for the most part. I would personally get equal length. You guys have seen me put equal length on all of my STIs. Matt runs equal length also. It doesn't sound bad. A lot of people say it sounds bad. I don't think it sounds bad.
It really depends on what else you have. I mean, I've tried a bunch of different exhaust options, and I've definitely had it sounding like a Honda Civic at one point.
Oh.
But if you have everything, if you got drone down and all that, it sounds more similar to like an Evo almost.
I mean, I'd say
Just
to an
any
extent.
kind of like smooth 4-cylinder.
Like the 05 STI still has a little bit of rumble in it, even with the equal length headers.
Well, even mine too.
Yeah, yours does too.
Yeah.
I mean, we're getting deep into it. I'd say equal length. My personal preference.
Always.
How long was I in the military, in what rank and what MOS? I was in the military I was in the Army for 4 years. I got out as a specialist promotable, or E4P, and then my MOS was a 15 whiskey. I was a UAS operator. I flew drones. Did one deployment over to Jalalabad, Afghanistan. JBAD, not a bad place. Lots of mountains. It was nice. I'm having a problem. I just recently replaced my spark plugs, and I'm running on a stage 1 with SF. This morning, have a check engine light P0000. I believe that's misfire on all cylinders. And P0303. And
so a 303 is going to be a cylinder 3 misfire, a 0000.
Isn't that all? Random misfire?
I thought that was 300.
Is it? What is P40s?
Dun, dun, dun. Researching for you.
We're pulling up the code. What is it? P00. Random misfires in cylinder 1 through 4, never consistent. So it's random misfire. So if you're getting random misfires, I'll check plug gap. That would be the first thing I do. Make sure that your spark plugs are all the way tightened down. Make sure your coil packs are all the way tightened down, and make sure that all of the clips are pushed in all the way. If you just did spark plugs.
Yeah, kind of process of elimination. If it wasn't happening before you did that, and now it's happening now, it's a double check work and make sure nothing's weird.
Yeah, spark plugs, if you messed with the spark plugs, it's got to be spark plug related, or at least ignition related, because you pulled coil packs also.
Yeah.
So go through there, check gap, check spark plugs are all the way tightened down, check coil packs, go from there. Just waiting on my Cobb V3 to roll smooth. Ooh! You can do that. Like I said, I don't think Enterprise would appreciate me renting one of their cars and taking it out to a rallycross. That would make for a good video. Doug brought up earlier, he was like, when are you going to go to a rallycross? He was like, you can rent a car. I was like go to Enterprise and rent a car? No, apparently they have cars that you can rent at the rallycross.
Oh.
Didn't know that. I thought he was talking about go to like Enterprise.
Yeah, just something about not crashing my own car. I get way too comfortable with stuff way too quick.
You can use an Enterprise car for rallycross. Seen it done many times. Just wash it well. I don't think, knowing me, that probably wouldn't end well. Yeah. My insurance would probably have to get involved.
I would not care as much if it's not my own car.
Snowed here in Toronto, Canada, 3 to 4 centimeters. Did not stop me from heat gold wrapping my top mount. Ooh, see, there we go. And I'm swapping out my pitch stop mount to parent tomorrow. Install the top mount. Wish me luck. Good luck, and do not freeze. It's cold.
It is cold out there.
It's cold out there. It's cold out there, guys. WRX. I am in Puyallup, by the way. Hey, welcome to Puyallup. Burnett has snow, but no snow in Buckley or Bonnie Lake. Where's Burnett?
I don't know, but we noticed that because we drove up north today.
Yeah, we went up to Bellevue, and there was like
nothing.
No snow.
There was nothing. But then as soon as we were in South Hill again, it was like
snow.
What's up? Snow's here.
It doesn't make sense.
I don't know.
Sense.
It's like one of those clouds that just follows somebody right above their head.
The snow just follows us.
It's just like, yo, you guys want snow? Yeah, we'll give only you snow.
I'm fine with that.
We took everyone else's snow, I guess.
We have all the snow. My uncle said I can put aftermarket headers on my 2010 WRX without any tune. Is that okay? That is not okay. Do not do that. Do not do that. Even swapping like an unequal length header to a different unequal length header, you're changing the inner piping diameter, allowing exhaust to flow a lot more freely. In turn, you're obviously sending more exhaust up to the turbo, so that way you can spin the turbo a little bit quicker. Don't put that on there without a tune. Get like a full-blown tune. Don't just swap out parts without putting a tune on the car. Even Subarus are one of the most finicky and temperamental cars when it comes to putting parts on there without a tune. The older WRXs and STIs are a little bit more okay with it, but when you start getting into a lot of the newer ones, like 08 Plus, when they started making a lot of the changes, that's when they got a lot more temperamental. So if you start going in there, like intakes, exhaust, like a catback's totally fine, don't get me wrong, but like intakes, headers, stuff like that, that's when things are going to like start to throw a fit a little bit. So
It's alright. I'm looking weird, but I'm reading the other.
Oh yeah,
the
there's
chat.
2 chat things open. One of them of like current comments coming in, and then one of like all the other comments as we go through them all. When I was driving yesterday, I had oversteer without trying. It was so fun. Snow will do that.
Yeah.
Portland here. I have 5 inches of snow. Why don't we have 5 inches of snow?
But we'll see. I mean, we're supposed to get some stuff.
Yeah, in like an hour
tonight,
is when it's
tomorrow.
supposed to
I think
start.
it's actually.
Is it like heavy snowing now?
It's not heavy snowing, but I was outside earlier and it was actually getting to be bigger flakes.
Oh, that's nice. That's good to hear.
We'll see what happens.
Hey man, how close are you to JBLM? Like 25 minutes or so? That's where I get my E85 is JBLM. Whenever I get a E85, JBLM. Looks like Tanner is getting drunk tonight. Off of 1 beer of 4.7 alcohol.
Toasted.
This'll do me in. That'll do me in right there. Oh yeah, and minus 22 degrees Celsius is way too cold for me. Someone said it was minus 45 where they were. Celsius, and it came out to like minus 49 Fahrenheit. I was like, no, thank you.
Yeah, it's
No.
like 30 right now, and I don't want to be outside.
Ben, what's going on, dude? Ben always throws in some like mix-up comments. Here's cool cars. I'm going to get my 1968 Dodge Corvette 440 Super B and a 1965 Chrysler 300L hardtop coupe and a 1962 Plymouth Savoy 413 Max Wedge. We were talking about this earlier with like domestic cars. Were we? We were talking about like Plymouth, Mercury, Saturn. Were those the only ones?
Yeah.
We were talking about like starting a car company like Neptune. What were the other ones?
Well, Uranus.
Uranus. I drive a Uranus.
The Uranus Sport.
Bigger pulley for power steering question. Oh, that was for up there. Bigger pulley for power steering question. Bigger pulley. So someone asked earlier if they could reduce.
You would underdrive. It's an under.
They want to reduce how much the power steering works at higher speeds.
Well, you wouldn't want to put an underdrive pulley on it.
The only thing that I could think of was...
you have an overdrive and an underdrive pulley. So an underdrive pulley is bigger, so it spins at a smaller, slower speed.
Yeah.
An overdrive pulley is going to spin it at a faster speed. That's not going to work out because essentially the pump's going to have its own like purge to it.
The only thing I could...
pressure relief.
Yeah.
So it's not going to do anything at higher speeds because it's already going to reach that pressure relief valve. And at lower speeds, you're going to have like no power steering. So.
The only thing I could think of was somehow wiring the power steering to a switch because he wants it off at higher speeds. But I don't know how well that would work because it's still being driven.
Most of the time, the power steering's hardly working if you're already moving a certain speed. That's just going to be the steering rack and everything. Because if the wheels are turning, you don't have trouble steering.
I am curious. Whoever asked that question, I don't recall off the top of my head. I'm curious as to why. Like, why do you want to reduce power steering at higher speeds? The only thing I could think of is if he's drag racing, but then you just don't want power steering, I feel like. Do you want power steering when you drag race?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need it.
I mean,
you're going straight. I mean, you're going to definitely... There's a lot more to drag racing than going straight. Everybody thinks you punch the gas, but there's a whole lot of handling through and making sure shit doesn't go sideways.
All right, moving on.
Tell us more about it.
Stan, I have an 07 Hawkeye WRX CS9 with 210,000 kilometers on the motor. I'm Australian, so IDK what that is in miles. Do you think it's worth doing power mods on that high? So honestly, I get this. I mean, I see this question come up a lot. Yeah.
40,000.
If it doesn't matter if the car has 100 miles or 200,000. As long as the motor is healthy, you can do basic bolt-ons. You can do a tune. I do highly suggest compression test, leak down test, all of the fundamentals to make sure that the engine is healthy. But there's nothing wrong with modifying a high mileage engine.
When I got Chewy, it had like 176,000 miles on it, and
you
I swapped
modified
to a
it.
VF52.
Yeah.
Did a whole bunch of stuff, and then, I mean, my engine was still good at like 200,000. I made a commitment when I bought the car. I was like, yo, dog, 200,000 miles. We're going to put a built engine in you.
Yeah.
So.
Like, there's nothing wrong with modifying a high-mileage engine. Like I said, as long as it's healthy, you're solid.
Compression test, check it out, make sure it's all good, and then model away.
Oh, I mean, or if you really want to risk it, even if it's not healthy, send it.
Blow it up.
Yeah, then it'll just give you a reason to swap it.
A reason to swap it, yeah.
I'm stage 1 plus, and I need my clutch soon. I'm looking at making 330 wheel horsepower on my 17 WRX. Any brand you'd recommend? My coworker said There were good clutch kits on Amazon. Don't buy on Amazon. I would not buy like a no-name Amazon clutch kit. ACT is probably who I'd suggest. They're like street light. If you want to go with a lightweight flywheel while you're at it, the street light lightweight flywheel is what I have on the 05 STI. Driving it around a little bit, I absolutely loved it. With the clutch, ACT's just street variant of their clutch is a really good setup. It takes a little while to break in, but it comes out awesome. Also, JR, my WX channel, appreciate the dono, my man. Hope to see you around soon. Yo, let's go to the track. Hope all is well, bro. Gonna play in the snow. Jealous. None of my cars work. None of my cars work. But I'm totally down. Matt, you want to go to the track too?
Yeah.
That's the Ridge. JR
Oh,
goes
yeah?
Yeah, JR goes the Ridge.
Let's go, dude.
I'm totally down.
I just want to make sure my car is like.
So,
I don't like my seats. I'm really picky.
It's all right. It's all right. We can make it work.
I purposely am gonna just like go way too ham on it.
We could do it. Matt's got the 400
If
wheel
you got a tow
horsepower
truck,
Outback.
dude, then I am down.
He would totally be down. Let's do it, man.
Okay.
Shoot. Let's plan something. Obviously, none of my cars work right now. It should be working like as soon as I get the heads back from the machine shop. Then I can just reset. Like honestly, reassembly on that car will probably take me 2 days.
We'll be good.
Yeah, we'll be fine. Totally down, dude. Just let me know when. Plumber, also appreciate the dono, dude. My new dealer warranty is burning coolant bad. So Plumber got a replacement motor. His blew up. The dealer replaced it under warranty. So his new motor is burning coolant. Here's the thing. If a motor is burning coolant, the coolant has to go somewhere. And the only place that coolant can go is through the head gasket. Into the combustion chamber. So if it's burning coolant...
Or you have a leak. Like
or you have a leak, but he said it's...
hose not hooked up right.
Yeah, but then you'd see the leak on the ground if it's burning it. If it was a visual leak and you saw like the coolant coming out, then it's just a leak and that's an easy fix. But if it's physically burning coolant's disappearing.
So I would say, okay, if you just had the dealership warranty your block for you and put a new block in, my best advice is take it back to them. Be nice. Just say, hey guys, can you please check this over? This is the problem. Most of the time they're willing to help. So,
I've never had them not willing to help.
No. So, I mean, that's kind of what they're there for. So,
yeah, like
if there's an issue, when you get that, obviously any work has a warranty on it. Take it back. First thing. Be nice about it. It gets you a lot further. And just say, hey guys, can you check this over? I'm having this issue. Please check it out. Yeah,
he said there's no spot, so it's not leaking anywhere. So if it is burning coolant, I would definitely take it back. Just remember, it's not like the person you're talking to. It's not their fault that there's something wrong with the car.
Yeah.
Just be honest and straightforward with them. Like that's what I always suggest to you guys. If you guys are ever going in to like try to make a warranty claim or anything like that, just be upfront and honest. Like they can see everything that goes on with that car, whether you modified it or not. They will know. So just be honest, be upfront, be nice to them, and they're more than willing to help out. Dealer has been great so far. Good to hear. See, it's good to hear. Do I need a turbo blanket? What's wrong with ceramic coated heat shield instead? Nothing's wrong with a heat shield. I just personally like turbo blankets more. Like heat shields, they're bigger, they're bulky. I've cut my hand on heat shields too many times, and I'm tired of it, and I'm not doing it anymore.
Dude, the best way I can explain it is, if you're cold at night, would you rather wrap yourself up in a blanket, or would you rather like take an umbrella and kind of put it in the wind, you know, like, to try and block the wind? You're still going to have radiant heat kind of like up and over it, and I don't think it just does as good of a job. Analogies, I don't know.
I mean, personally, I like turbo blankets, but there's nothing wrong with the heat shield if you want a heat shield. Watch the engine paint video. Hey, appreciate it. For future purposes, heat the can inside. That's what I did. So I did heat the can, but I didn't even think about putting the can in hot water. What I ended up doing is I turned my heat gun on and I just held the can and rotated it above the heat gun to help get the paint up to temperature.
Yet, so.
I didn't show it on video. I did it off camera because it was so cold yesterday when I was painting. I was like, it's just too cold to be able to do this.
Yeah. So
I heated up the can, and it just took forever for the paint to dry. Donald George, happy Friday to you. Happy Friday to you, my friend.
Happy Friday.
What a man. How you been? It's snowing for the past 3 weeks here in PA. It's Pennsylvania, I believe. Can't play in my... Oh, truck is stuck on a cliff. On a cliff? Like it's stuck on a cliff?
Oh, God.
Are you okay?
It sounds like you have bigger problems than me right now.
Also, the Stone Brewery is really, really good. You're going to read this message late. At least as far as concerned. I will have to check it out. I've never heard of him. If you live in really cool or really cold climates, I do suggest you invest in an engine block heater. Very true.
Yes.
If it's consistently cold, if it's not just like a random like cold front that comes through for like a week or something like that, I wouldn't worry about it too much. But if you're somewhere where it's like consistently cold, an engine block heater, very good idea. I think they're cheap too. I think they're like $50.
Yeah, they're not bad.
Yeah, they're not expensive at all.
Most of them just kind of like glue onto the oil pan in some way, so they're
It's true.
pretty simple installs.
What wide body kit am I looking at getting for the 2017 STI? What was the one we were looking at? Fenderist? Is that who it was?
Yeah, I like Fenderist.
Fenderist.
I've been trying to like scope them out because I really want to use them for the Outback. They're from Russia.
I'm gonna pull it up.
But I mean, they're good looking, and all the actual fitment videos I've seen on them look pretty good.
We're gonna bam, we're gonna pull it up. I think this was specifically for a Forester, but their fenders look so good. Look at that. Even that looks good.
It looks funny because it's blue, but
Well, it's unpainted.
it's just it's
Their renders
fine
are
kit,
so good. Like
Yeah,
they do
no,
such
it
a
looks
good
great.
job.
They have a the process that they have for making them all is kind of a 3D scanning process, and then all CNC'd with wood for the molds.
Oh, this
So
is
it's
is this in
a
Russian?
little cooler than some of the stuff I've seen.
No, it was the Urban Art we were looking at, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you on like their outdoorsy thing?
I don't know. Oh no, don't right click. Where is the new chassis? Where's the VA?
Down.
It's like all the way. The VA chassis looks so good. This thing looks so good.
Now I haven't seen it in person. I've seen a lot of their Forester kits in person, and
like you can't tell me.
I can't say in person. They haven't driven by me, but I've seen like fitment videos of people actually putting those kits on, and they look like they fit pretty well.
Here's my
straight out the gate.
Here's my thing with the VA chassis is I hate every single wide body out there because of the rear fender section, but theirs looks surprisingly good and it flows with the body lines so much better.
They actually like take all that into account.
Yeah, like this looks so much better right here for the side profile than any other wide body I've seen for the VA STI. Oh, it comes with like wing plates, I guess. Maybe not. I don't know. Regardless, this is the wide body kit that I'm more likely going to be going with, and it's like somewhat more affordable. I mean, it's $2,300 for the entire kit. But if you compare that to like Veris or some other ones out there, which are like $6,000-$7,000, this is pretty affordable when it comes to a wide body. And the fitment has been like pretty spot on, like Matt was talking about. They use 3D rendering to be able to do it all.
Yeah, they'll make it all in like some kind of CAD software, and then have it 3D printed. Where like a CNC, the way I've seen them do it is they take like a block of wood and a CNC machine like 3D cuts that to the mold.
That's true.
And then they use some kind of like vacuum process to make sure everything's all perfect.
It comes out awesome. They do great stuff. Fenderist. If you're looking for a wide body kit, definitely check them out. Been watching your channel for about a year or so now. Love the content. Picking up my first WRX tomorrow morning. That is exciting. Congrats on picking up the new car, dude. It's always exciting, like, going to pick up a new car. In my case, when I went to pick up my last new car, it was...
I've never had a new car.
Well, I've bought two brand new cars.
I got a Crosstrek.
There's nothing wrong. That
What's
was
that?
brand new.
Yeah, it was brand new. It
What's
was a
wrong
lot
with
of
the
money.
Crosstrek?
It's the most money I've ever paid for a car.
About 3 feet of snow in the past 3 weeks. That's a lot. Dude, whoever drifts in the Tacoma Mall parking lot, I see and hear y'all all the time. LOL, my place is right next to
I can't say we were there, but we were somewhere.
We talked about this one. If you live in a cold, frigid climate, you need to invest in the engine block heater for your Subaru. Subaru has an OEM option for
They do.
engine block heaters also.
Yeah.
Wait a sec. I thought that was a Neon SRT4, not a Bug Eye. That's Matt's SRT4.
Yeah, that's mine.
Yeah, that's his. It's not mine. It's not. I get questions all the time about.
I have the Neon, and then I have the Twins. So I have the Outback, and I have the Legacy.
Yes.
And the Legacy's been blown up.
Mittens. That's mittens.
Blow a fat cloud for the Subi gang.
Oh, your vapes down here?
Thanks, dude.
Where did you see that one?
Like,
Where is... Oh, right there. Matt follows the vape stereotype.
I do. I also smoke, though, so, I try and keep it pretty cool.
Oh, my God. All right, moving on. Yeah, the Neon is Matt's. We're waiting on parts to come in. I think, the front brake shipped out, you said?
They did.
Yeah. So, that car needs a lot of love. We're trying to get some stuff for it. Parts for that car are stupid hard to find.
Yeah, almost everything at this point is discontinued. And even like the aftermarket companies that made better parts are starting to discontinue their stuff for it. So there's not a whole lot of good things
Kristen
for the
said, "Do
platform.
it. Blow your fat clouds."
Do it. Do it. Dude, I put a new coil in there and it sucks. So I'm kind of upset.
A little bummed.
Yeah.
Moving through, what do you typically do with your stock wheels or your old wheels when you get new ones? I'm thinking about buying. Personally, I either sell them if I don't like the wheel, or I'll keep them if I like the wheel. Like on the 05 STI, I love those BBS wheels. When it comes time for me to get different wheels for that car, those BBS wheels will probably just be winter wheels with winter tires on them, and then I'll just rock the other ones. But whenever it comes to like older sets of wheels or wheels on other cars that I just don't personally like, I sell them. They take up space. They take up a lot of space. We're working in a small space in the garage, so I'm trying to not.
We have too many projects.
There's a lot of projects. How many project cars in total? There's Mittens.
We have 4.
There's Mittens, the 05 STI, the 17 STI, the Neon, and Chewy. That's 5.
We have 5.
5 project cars.
We have 5. We have 5.
We work on.
I have 3. I forgot I have 3.
I have 2.
One runs all the time. One's forced to run all the time, but it really shouldn't.
Both of mine are project cars.
Right? We have a problem.
I want to buy an FC before they get expensive. Do it. I like the FC RX-7s. I like the FB RX-7s a little bit more, though. I would personally...
I like FCs.
I mean, I would rank it FD for me, FB, FC. You don't like the FBs?
No, I go in, reverse order.
So if you had to rank RX-7s from...
Well, obviously the FD is going to be at the top because it's the sleek, pretty looking one.
Yeah, I mean, of course.
The FC, I like the FC, and I've seen a lot of... I've got a few different friends that have made FCs look really good and drifted them, and I don't know, the FBs kind of leave a lot to be. Yeah. They're I don't know, they're nice looking, they're old school,
I like them.
I like them, but I feel like there's a lot more work that has to go into them to make them
Well, that's why we have project cars.
Out.
That's why we have project.
It'd be
cars.
like the Z project where it just didn't work out.
That would have worked out if the chassis wasn't effed.
Right.
That whole chassis. Were you there when I pulled up the carpet?
Yes, and it was all rusted.
There was no floor. They had spray foam as the floor. There was no saving that.
Well, it was covered in carpet.
The only
Didn't
thing.
we buy that from a 17-year-old kid though?
I bought that car for $500. It ran and drive, and it only ran and drove once, and then it flooded the engine, and then I pulled the L28 out and sold the L28, and then I bought the RB25.
Why didn't I just? We should have just taken that and put it in something else.
Like what? We lived in an apartment complex.
I know. We're stuck. We could have stored it somewhere. Could have stored it at my mom's with the neon.
True. You're making my man want to buy more car parts for his GTI. Do it!
Do it!
A GTI destroyed my hand once. That thing cut me down to the bone. They have so many heat shields in GTIs.
Just don't pull up next to me in your GTI and scare me.
Scare you?
Scare me. And sit there at the light and rev your engine while I'm just trying to cruise home at 10 o'clock.
Have you heard of the Slant 6? I've heard of it. I've heard of Slant 6s. That's about it, though.
Slant 6.
I've heard of them. Would you consider Chrysler's Max Wedge engine to be a weird engine? I don't even know what a Chrysler's Max Wedge... Do you?
Is that like a salad?
What?
No.
Like a salad?
A wedge salad?
A wedge salad.
Max Wedge. Pull it up.
The Chrysler Wedge engine?
Pull it up. I want to see it.
Chrysler Wedge engine. I don't even know what this is. Let's go images. I don't know if I consider it weird.
Looks totally normal.
It looks like a V engine.
It's like a...
It's just got 2 carburetors.
Got the dual carburetor on that thing.
I don't know if I'd consider it weird, but it's not...
It's definitely not your run-of-the-mill...
it's not normal, but I wouldn't call
guy.
it weird. I wouldn't call it weird. It's not normal, but it's not weird. Got the notification a half hour late. Dude, I am like a half hour behind the stream then. Or behind comments. Hey man, hope you're having a good day. Hey, hope you are too, Butterfly. Did the thing ever show up, Butterfly? Did it ever show up? Bro, I haven't been following WTF happened to the used STI engine. I thought the ticking was figured out. I thought the ticking was figured out because it temporarily went away, but it was like a placebo effect. Turns out it had 4 bent intake valves all on the driver's side head. And all of those intake valves made contact with the pistons.
It was great.
So yeah, so now here we are. The heads are at the machine shop and I have the new valves and everything in the garage. We'll get it fixed. We'll get it fixed. It's already in the process of getting fixed.
It'll work out at some point.
I mean, yeah, at some point. Everything on that motor has been replaced with the exception of the short block at this point and the alternator.
Yeah.
Everything. Anyone playing COD tonight? I'm not. Here we are. We're to the Matt comments. Matt blow the fat cloud for the Subi gang. Matt follows the vape stereotype. Sup, Matt? What up, Matt? Matt is the real Subi
tried
dude.
to hide it as I walked in too. Like
It's right on the table.
Oh fuck.
Will you be doing a subscribers build review soon? I can do one in the next live stream. It's been a while. It's been a while since we did that one. Matt, the Legacy GT on the side of the garage would make a really nice Rally X beater.
But it's so pretty though. Like, oh man. Yeah, let's beat it up. You got me. You got me.
Are you going to have those older drive hoodies, the one you were wearing in 2XL? Just check the website and didn't see it as an option. If you guys want, I will add this one to the website in all sizing also. But keep in mind, I'll do that right after this live stream, but all of the pre-orders are going to end Sunday at midnight, and then I'm going to cut them off until I get all of the orders in, and whatever stock that I order and merchandise that I stock will be what we have, so it'll be very limited sizing, very limited quantities, but I will open the drive hoodies up for all sizing as well, up to 3XL from small. So if you guys do want one of these ones, I will open those ones up also. Hell yeah, that's what Fox is saying. That's what I'm all about. I hate when the chat jumps like this. There we go. I just watched Chris Fix shove grease and bread into his clutch plate bearing. Am I doing right? Why? Why did he...
Grease and bread?
Why?
You got some bread?
Bread? Had to replace my window gussets on my 06 FXT. Good luck to you if you have to do the mirror screws are super hard to take out. I had to pull the whole window out of the 05 STI. The whole window. Remember when I changed the regulator and everything?
The mirror screws?
The mirrors.
Yeah, I had to take all my stuff off because I replaced the...
Yeah, what year? 06 FXT? I don't know. I would assume that the 06 is the same as ours.
You probably just, yeah, if they were in there for long enough, they would have been basically like...
Yeah, because mine came out pretty easy. Mine came out pretty easy with mine.
I just used an impact and just...
I just used a normal screwdriver, just a longer boy, so I could get a little more like yeah. And they just came right out. Nick Lou, intake, downpipe, catback, header, external wastegate, and flex fuel. How much power do you think it would make? Nick, I don't even know what the car is, so I don't know.
I'm gonna say 250 to 320.
You don't know what the car is.
I'm going to give you a big range. I'm going to say 180 horsepower to 450.
We don't know what the car is. When you guys ask questions like this, please make sure to throw in like what the car is, so that way we know. Otherwise, it's kind of like up in the air.
Depends on how much you're pushing it, what kind of turbo, and how much PSI.
Here's Fox responding to your thing. 5 million likes would imply 40 million plus views. It would probably pay for a new Outback if you crashed it into a wall.
But it wouldn't be my Outback.
I mean, it would be your Outback.
I mean, it'd be my new Outback.
Injector size and fuel pump, EJ, the skinny pedal. What? Injector size and fuel. I don't know what your goals are.
Injector size and fuel pump, EJ.
I could give you any injector size, any fuel pump size, but I don't know what you're shooting for power. So you guys got to add more information to these questions rather than just throwing out like injector size and fuel pump size. But if you're looking for 1050 cc's and like AEM 340s are pretty standard, what most people run. What can cause car to lose gas mileage? I mean, a bad PCV valve, a heavy foot, leaking fuel system somewhere, a bad tune. Anything else?
Faulty spark plugs.
Yeah.
Anything that's causing it not to burn right or have the proper air-fuel ratio.
There's a lot that can cause decreased fuel mileage.
Change your air filter.
What is that going to do?
Clean it up.
All right. Hey, man, what's the best way to find a replacement TD04 for a WRX? Facebook or eBay, Amazon, Craigslist? Don't do Amazon. I take that back. Unless it's an OEM. They do have some OEM parts on Amazon. That's where I got my power steering pump.
You might be able to find like I don't know, places still make rebuild cartridges. Pretty
like
damn easy. You
like
can
the
get them
CHRA, you can just fucking...
Yeah, you can get them super cheap. It's like the full CHRA assembly. Has both the impellers on there.
You just pop
All
up.
you got to do is take off your exhaust manifold, or not exhaust manifold.
The hot side and the cold side.
Turbine housing, take off the compressor housing, slap them on the new one for like $200. So.
Oh, here we go. Steve Toon showed off a 4-port EBC once and said it gave complete control, but 3-port are fine. He's quitting his job tuning, sadly, and going back to work as a tech at PRE in Portland. PRE is going to be tuning the 17 STI with the EG. That'd be cool.
And PRE's cool.
PRE is cool. Eric down there's awesome.
We like PRE.
Sorry I came in late. Hope all is well for the both of you. We're kicking it, Cody. Hope all is well for you, man. And Eric, good evening, Tanner and Matt.
Hello.
Hope everyone is doing well. Hope you're doing well, dude. Steve Toon runs a 4-port in his frag car, and so does Batter on a couple builds. They didn't really explain it, though. Well, now I got us, now I'm just going to,
Assume if a 3-port allows control, I would assume a 4-port probably allows more control.
What about a 10-port?
A 10-port, you probably got hoses going to random stuff. So
you got hoses.
Well, you'll have
everywhere.
mad control, so... Don't worry about it.
CS Gray, Sup Tanner, and friend Matthew. I joined late, man, and I'm sorry I don't know your name. I ordered that IEG transmission mount you recommended, by the way. Awesome. So CS Gray was asking in the last stream of a transmission mount to get more whine and actual feedback from the transmission. I run the competition series mount in the 17 STI. Love it. Gives a lot of feedback, a lot of sound. I like being able to hear everything, mechanically.
For the transmission mount, I literally in mine I just run a rally spec.
Mm-hmm.
They just make an insert. I literally took mine out, lubed it up. It's literally a polyurethane
and
insert.
it just presses in.
And you take a press and you press them together.
I've done that on the BRZ.
And that thing doesn't move at all. So
I've been happy with the IAG one. The IAG one's been awesome.
They don't make one for mine because
yeah, I mean it's an
auto.
Yeah, it's an auto. The 05 STI is the Group N, and the little bit I've driven that car with the Group N mount on there, it feels good. Yeah. It's not it's a daily, so it's got the Group N mounts and the Group N, just Group N mounts, and it's a perfect level of stiffness with still some comfort.
Yeah. I
don't know why doesn't Super just put the Group N mount in everything? It's a better mount, and it's not expensive.
No.
It's $40 for 2 engine mounts.
Compliance.
I mean, true. Congrats on 40k subs. Thank you, Zekai, and thank everyone else as well. I appreciate all you guys, man. The continued support has been incredible. 4-port slams the wastegate shut, making it spool faster. It runs off of 12 volts and essentially identical to the Cobb or most other 3-ports, except it has 4. Even with external wastegate, it opens slightly before full boost. 4 ports are just missing the pigtail that plugs into the Subaru harness. Oh. Interesting. We might have to try one on Mittens. Let's try one on Mittens.
To research this. I don't know if Mittens is ready for it.
Why not? We can throw a 6266 on there and just send it.
Let's do it. 72, 78.
Oh, yes. Yes. I guess that 4-port EBC is really good for high boost applications. There we go. Tanner, are you going to get the TIC FU cam bolts for Karma? I don't know. I have brand new OEM bolts out there, the 10mm ones. They make replacement 17mm bolts for the cam gears instead of using the 10mm Allens. But I honestly haven't had any issues with the 10mm Allens. And they're all brand new. I replaced them all.
Yeah, I think they're fine.
I'm going to run the 10mm Allens only because I already have the parts. Is that a dog?
That is dog.
Oh, that is Small Dog.
He brought this down and he's been staring at me.
What is that? Why did you steal this?
Because he does that.
I know, he's a little thief. Lens... I don't think that's English.
Lens Tintos Allenson. Who is calling?
Why are air fryers so much more superior than microwaves? Because air fryers are more superior. Alright, I'll be here.
Yo.
I'll be in the chat. Air fryers are more superior. You can put everything in an air fryer and it works incredible. All Honda builds nowadays have 4-ports. I'm going to have to do some more research into 4-ports. Apparently 4-ports are maybe they're the way of the future. And I'm just not doing it right. I was wondering your thoughts on the Magnaflow X-Mod catback instead of Tomei for my 2019 WRX Limited. I'm trying to keep my neighbors from hating me. I do not blame you. I've personally never ran a Magnaflow exhaust. They seem to be hit or miss on quality for the most part from what I've seen. But if you are going to be running one, sound control on them does seem a little bit more tamed than some of the other ones out there. What are you doing? What are they doing? What did they just...
They're yelling at me now.
What did they have you go and do?
No, Nikki called me.
Oh. Have you ever used a Magnaflow exhaust? He's coming back over?
Have I ever used a Magnaflow exhaust?
Yeah.
No.
Neither have I. I can't speak on Magnaflow too much. I know a lot of people run them. They sound decent. The only thing that I don't like about Magnaflow, I just don't like this about exhausts in general, is slip joints.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like slip joints on exhausts. Personal preference, they just have a higher tendency to leak. Personally, I like V-bands. Matt likes V-bands. We like V-bands. small dog is just playing with his little toy over there. V-bands are just a little bit better sealing.
Yeah.
Just get the ETS Quiet Cat back. True, you could get the ETS Extreme with like 5-inch mufflers, or the Nameless Performance one with like 4.5-inch, 5-inch mufflers. Sounds perfect. Your neighbors won't hate you. And, I mean, it's V-band. V-band. I like V-band. My wife is watching S. Well, hello. Hello. Thoughts on the JDM EJ20Y engine? I don't know what that one is. Do you know that one? EJ20Y?
I know the EJ20X.
I know the X. I don't know the Y.
I mean, I know the Y, but I don't know the differing factors in it.
I don't know. I can't even pull up information on the Y. It doesn't even let me. I'm going to be honest. It looks... JDM EJ20X, EJ20Y. Is it the same engine? Is it same?
Like minor differences for like use and...
I can't speak on it because I don't know. I've never looked too much into JDM engines. A lot of people like JDM engines, and JDM engines are a really good option for people who just want a drop-in motor that makes a little bit more power a lot easier. But I really have no problem using USDM engines. Like, there are so many aftermarket options at this point and where we're at that just aftermarket engine applications seem a little bit easier, and you can even buy OEM used EJs for pretty cheap nowadays that JDM motors just aren't a huge... I just don't see them as a huge selling point anymore. Like, back in like early 2000s, JDM motors were awesome. You get a 207. Tuning was primarily only open source at the time because Cobb didn't cannibalize the market and just access port everything. I don't know. I think the time of JDM motors is just kind of closing in.
Well, then you're like changing so much that I mean, I get that you can get EJ20X for like mad cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, lots of people were saying when Mittens blew up, they were like, throw a 20X in it. I'm like, yeah. Then I go through all.
Then
the
you're changing
changes
ECU
and all that.
You're changing so much.
And then if a part fails on it or something, I'm not just like hitting up my work and going, hey, I need this.
I mean, for the most part, a lot of the parts are interchangeable, but with a lot of the JDM ones, the options become a lot more narrow for what you can actually use.
Yeah.
I don't know. Personally, I have no problems with USDM engines. I would suggest USDM. It makes things a lot easier, especially if you want to retain an access port, if you don't want to go through there, change a ton of wiring either. For the most part, some of the older ones do wire up pretty closely. It's just USDM engines are a lot easier. Drifted my 06 Forester today in the snow in Idaho. I'm jealous. I wish I could. Find your local rallycross group on Facebook. I'm already a part of that group. That's how you find a rental for rallycross. I'm not going to drive someone else's car on a rallycross course. I would feel incredibly guilty if anything happened. Yeah. What all-season tires do I recommend? The ones Matt suggested to me that I got for the 17 STI that I've really been liking are the the DW Continental. What are they? The DS.
It's Continental DWS06s.
Bam! I thought
that's what you run.
Yeah.
That's what I run on Chewy.
I love them. For all seasons?
I literally, when it first snowed and they were brand new, I got pissed off because I'll run like 255s, and with the DWS06, I couldn't even kick the ass end out. So, I mean, they work pretty good. That'd be my recommendation.
I like them. The new Michelin ones, a lot of people have been trying the new Pilot 4S. Mm-hmm. Those seem to have a lot of good reviews. I haven't used them yet. I'd like to use them.
always get really good reviews, but like...
For the tires that I buy for the 05, because that car needs tires, I'll buy the Michelins and I'll see how they compare to the DWs, because I'm kind of curious.
Yeah.
I'm a little curious, just because those...
I know they always get the highest reviews, but also like they're offered very heavily at Costco, so I wonder if...
They're also not that expensive.
Prone to get reviews?
They're cheaper than the Continentals. By like $200 for a set of 4, obviously, not per tire.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll try them. We'll circle back around to that one after I've driven around on them a little bit. But all seasons are pretty much my go-to up here. Recently picked up a 15 STI, changed the clutch, flywheel, cartboy shifter to start. Car has an HKS blow-off valve on it. Is it normal to get 300 kilometers per tank? I don't know. I need to convert.
It's like 160?
Is it?
I don't know.
300 kilometers per tank is 186. You were pretty close. 186. With those mods, you seem to be a little low. 15 STI. It's got clutch, flywheel, cartboy short shifter, which isn't going to affect your gas mileage. The blow-off valve, if that's really the only thing done to the motor. Should be at around like
A lot higher than
250 miles per tank, roughly, depending you're not like 100% throttle all day, all the time. I don't know.
Without having like upgraded injectors or anything like that, that sounds really low.
The blow-off
So
valve
you're
wouldn't
like
be
lead
killing.
footing the hell out of it, or
The blow-off valve wouldn't be killing fuel economy that much.
no?
No. I'm curious which beer you're drinking. Which one's your favorite? I don't know. I told Melanie to get me a fun beer when they went to the store, and this is Stone Salt and Lime Lager.
Buena Vesa.
I wasn't even gonna try to pronounce it. It's this stuff. It was a surprise beer. It's okay. Normally I just drink like Rainier if I'm drinking a beer. Can't go wrong with Rainier. 1999 WRX Impreza Turbs. I have too many problems to start asking questions. Welcome to my world. That's my 05 STI right now.
Welcome to the life of a Subaru.
You should do a live chat with Brian from the Mod Garage. Brian doesn't like to be on camera, but I'd love to. Brian hates being on camera.
We'll get Brian on camera. I'll help get Brian on
I've
camera.
gotten Brian on
I don't
camera.
like being on camera.
You're doing great.
So
You're doing great.
that's
Every time I try to
just
get
rope
Brian
him
on
in.
camera, he just dips out and hides. Every single time. He hates it. I've
We'll
gotten
just
him on
work out.
camera like twice.
I'll help.
Me and my fiance Drew send love and support from Connecticut. Love your content, man. Keep it up. Hey, appreciate it, Tracy. Ben, engine block heater. You need to get okay. We're back to the engine block thing. We totally agree. Engine block heater.
Yes.
If it's consistently cold.
Yeah.
Or just send it at Enterprise. I'm not taking an Enterprise car. I can't.
All you gotta do is just sign up for the coverage.
The
And they go,
the
do you want to
insurance.
get the extra $25 a day for the insurance? And then you go, I sure the fuck do.
I only need it for a day. It just comes back mangled.
Trust me, I'll need this. Thank you.
How do you feel about auto start on a 2015 plus WX or STI? Auto start. That's not push button. That's auto start. What is auto start? Is auto start when you come to a stop, car shuts off, and auto starts back on, or is auto start push to start?
We're talking about like remote start.
Like remote start, like on a remote control. I mean, personally, I'm not a huge fan of remote starts. I never use them. I normally just walk out to my car, start the car, and just let it do its thing.
I would say I would be pro for it if it's like a factory unit, and
I've seen some decent aftermarket
the issue is
ones,
a lot of
but
times you can't get like factory units because you got to bypass the clutch thing, and if
The
you're
new-
not
isn't
smart
it
and you
just
leave
a
it in
neutral safety
gear,
switch?
yeah, if you leave it in gear, I've seen a lot of people.
I've seen that one where someone left it in gear
You
at
just
a
slam
remote
into
start.
the car in front of you, and you're like, "Oh shit, no, I forgot."
This
to
guy
do
took
that.
out his own motorcycle in his
Yeah.
garage. I was like, Jesus. No
What
one
are
knows
you
what he's doing.
Kai?
Hello, can you help me? I'm looking to buy Fortune Auto, but I don't know if Swiss Springs is better or Hyperco Springs. I use my car as a daily, but honestly, I don't suggest Swift Springs to anyone unless they do consistent spirited driving or track time. If you are just daily driving the car, standard spring rates are fine. They're totally fine for like normal daily driving.
Well, the spring rates they come with are totally fine. I go the. I mean, if you totally don't care about.
Keep in mind, you're spending
If
an
you're not
extra.
super, if
Keep-
you're not
no, no,
super,
no, no, no,
you're spending
keep-
like $250.
Keep in mind, you're spending
I
an
mean,
extra
if it's
$250
like
to $300 on top of coilovers that are already.
If you're not going to be
$1,300.
tracking it, just go with what they already have. If you're not going to be doing anything crazy, if you're really into like the way the car feels, I would shell out the additional for the Swift Springs. I don't know if you really care about the like changing the spring rates and anything like that. But you can watch videos on Swift. Basically, each kind of spring, they're manufactured different ways, and the spring rate as you compress the spring, if it's like a say 200-pound spring per inch, you get 200 pounds here. You get like 185. You get 170. Then like 300. They're all over the place on their spring rates as they compress. And Swift has a very special way to make things where it's like 200, 200, 200, 200.
Yeah. I mean,
so they're a lot more precise. If you're just doing daily driving, don't give a shit about that and just get the normal ones that they come with because it's not worth it.
They're more than fine. I've run their standard spring rates on so many cars. I've never had an
have
issue.
standard springs. I've
Yeah.
wanted Swift for a while and just.
I've never had an issue with standard spring rates. Once you start doing like track time and stuff like that, or like a lot of spirited driving, at that point I would justify like Swift Springs. But
Yeah, if you're just driving it on the road and you don't care about fine tuning your suspension, then there's no point.
True. There is quite a big group of YouTubers in your area that all play with Subarus and Evos. Have you thought about doing any collaborations? Yes. So, JR over at my WX channel, him and I have talked about doing something. The rest of them, every time I message them, it's just I get ghosted. So I never get a response. I never get a reply. I never they never even open the message. So, I've tried, but I'm working with what I got. Got a couple of your t-shirts. Any new merch coming soon? Well, yes. New merch drop was today, so if anyone does want to grab any of the new merch, the link is out in the comments. We've got 2 new t-shirts, 3 new hoodies, a lot of good stuff over on the website. So if you guys are looking for any new merch, the top 5 are all the new ones. If you guys order anything down below, that is all stuff I have in stock. So if you guys are buying anything in stock, it will ship out same day, or at least you'll get tracking same day, and it'll ship out relatively quickly. But yes, new merch drop was actually today. So we do have new t-shirts and hoodies. My WRX just seized and I decided to build a new bottom end. That sounds fun. I have no experience whatsoever. I was wondering about what parts I should get. Any tips? So, 2014 WRX, bottom end seized. If you're going to reuse the case halves, obviously take them to a machine shop. Let them do their magic to freshen them up, clean them up. You're going to need new main bearings, rods, pistons, the piston ring set, rod bearings. Rod bearings and main bearings, same thing. Right? Am I thinking about that right? Yeah, same. Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Same, because the boop, 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 same thing. Honestly, if you're doing the bottom end, you might as well get the case half, the zinc case half bolts. I think they're worth it. They're cheap. They're like $100 for all the nice zinc case half bolts.
Better. You won't have issues with that. I recommend King bearings. Not sponsored by King,
well,
but
no.
I've used King in every build I've
seen some failures with ACL. Some it was just like the barrier deteriorating, but that could also have been because there's schmoo left over.
I won't go one way or another. The only thing I have any tried proof with is King bearings, and
is that what's in Chewy?
Yeah, it's what's in Chewy and the Neon. So I have no testing on the.
That's
Neon's
what I have
King
in the
bearings,
EG is King also.
Yeah, King. I haven't had any issues with, and we've used the car for like 25,000 miles so far. So
should I buy pistons? Do you think I should get pistons?
Just flip a coin, man. I mean,
do you think it's worth it? I mean, we have 2
ask
days.
the channel. Should we get it?
What do you guys think? Do you guys think we should get pistons for the 05
yes.
STI? You don't know that they're all going to say yes. You don't know.
Should we do it?
That motor has under 1,000 miles on it. We probably don't even need to rehone it.
What are you going to get out of it? What are you trying to do with it?
Well, the weak point of the EJs is the piston. The rod's fine. We can make 450 with just a piston and stock rods. Well, I don't know. What do you guys think? Throw what should we throw in the chat? What should we throw in the chat for pistons? Q? Throw a Q in the chat if we should swap pistons.
What if we go P up there?
P or Q?
P.
Why P?
For pistons.
All right, fine. Throw a P out there. Yes, get pistons. The pistons, please, I'll say yes. Pistons aren't crazy expensive.
You're costing us so much money.
The pistons aren't crazy expensive. And we just had the merch drop, so I could snag some pistons.
I would say if you're doing pistons, the rods, and then just put King bearings in it, and then call it good.
But then we have to split the case half. We don't have to split the case half. Should we build the bottom? Should we build it?
Let's just build it.
You want to help me build it?
It's more, yeah.
I mean, it'll be reliable. It'll hold more power.
And you guys can watch it, and we can take it all apart. And then now that we're saying this, you guys are totally taking advantage of the fact that Tanner's got a beer and I have alcohol.
It's just a night. Well, no, it's like it's a quarter of a beer. It's
what is R?
What is R? Fox. What is R? I see one that says keep stock.
Oh, he's saying rods too.
Oh, is that R?
For port.
I'm gonna debate it.
P and R, bruh.
I'm gonna debate it. If I'll look at the cost of rods, pistons, and bearings, it's probably not that much. It's probably $1,000. Bro, pistons and rods.
Piston, rods, and crank. Stop it, Fox. Stop it.
And crank. What are we doing with the crank?
You're going too far.
What would we do with the crank?
Billet block. If you guys want us to put a billet block in a
Stop!
We're not doing that. That's way too expensive.
No, the EG doesn't even have a billet block.
No PP.
No PP. We could probably. You don't have to tune for equal length header, right? Yes, you do.
You should, yeah.
You know, you do.
You absolutely.
Yeah, P and R. All right, I'm gonna look at rod and piston prices tonight. Well, I mean, we might as well.
I am the only one, and we appreciate you for it.
Send it. Appreciate the dono,
yeah, you just
Gray.
got $5 off pistons. There you go.
$5 towards the pistons. F it. Put a batter built short block in.
No P until OEM ones break. I agree.
Well,
let's just blow it up. Let's find out. Then we'll be able to document and see
here's
with a proper
the thing.
tune how much it all lasted for.
Well, if the OEM one breaks, then I have to buy new case halves.
Who cares?
That's expensive.
Whatever. We'll find some. We'll find some. I'll snag some.
IAG full build? No! We could just build the short block in the garage.
Yeah, we could.
It's not that hard to build a short block. It's really not that
Better
hard.
build short block.
No.
No, we're just gonna make our own. We're good.
All right, I'm gonna look at prices tonight of rods, pistons, and bearings. I really don't think it'd be that much.
Do you guys realize what you've done?
This is them.
Do you know what you've done?
Look at what we started. Blowing it up is good content. Not for my wallet, it's not. This gets expensive.
Who cares? Just put it all on a credit card. You don't have to pay it back when you're dead.
Are you anticipating me to die soon?
No, I'm just saying just never pay it. Make minimum payments for the rest of your life and then
What?
throw it on somebody else. Just not me.
I'm gonna look at it tonight. We'll do it. Oh, should we do it? We'll just, you know what? We're just gonna go for it.
God, what are you guys doing?
I don't even know.
No, you have to get one car up and running. I'm gonna say no. He shouldn't do it until it blows up, which is inevitable. Don't do it.
So you just said it's gonna blow up. So we might as well
but
do
it may not be 5 years.
It
10
could be,
years.
It could
be
be
the
a
rest
month.
of your life.
Could be a month. What if that OEM short
It
block?
could be 5 days from
What
now.
if the reason that the piston smacked the valves was because that short block was assembled wrong in Subaru?
I don't think it was because it
I
came
don't think it
assembled.
was either.
I don't think there's a problem with that.
Only piston is about $600, but should be okay for a daily driver. Let's see. That sounds like we should get pistons. I don't know. I'm gonna look into it
It's
tonight.
easy enough. I mean,
I mean, the case, it's already torn apart.
yeah.
We could do pistons and not even have to take the rods out. We could do pistons without splitting the case out.
No, gang, where you at?
Get a Dom tune equals smart guy. Trust his Wyndham. He is a smart dude.
His window.
He is a really smart dude. All right. We've been going for about an hour and a half. I'll probably do another stream Sunday night. We'll do one Sunday. We have an upload on Sunday, so we'll do one Sunday. I'm going to go, Matt, I'll let you answer this question first. What's next for the SRT4?
What is next? Well,
Brakes,
I mean,
hubs.
we're accumulating parts. We're gonna basically try and refresh the chassis because it's sat for 8 years without any love or care. So yeah, I have a bunch of different chassis parts that we're gonna replace for it. We're gonna replace brakes, do all the hubs,
Literally everything.
Probably go through do an energy
Suspension,
bushing kit,
kit.
and all that. Just because the thing's falling apart, it's sat in a garage for like
8 years.
8 years.
That's
So.
right. The neon will be back soon. But anyways, Plumber, appreciate the last minute dono, my friend. I'm gonna go look at some piston and rod prices and bearing prices and see what I can come up with. If I did not get to your guys' questions tonight, Josh, I see you. Can launch control be damaging to your engine even if you don't actually launch it? You just use two-step. No, you're totally fine if you just want to hold it on launch control for like 10 seconds or whatever. You're totally fine. It's not really going to damage anything unless the engine's already damaged. That's just kind of a quick one. If you decide to launch the car, obviously that's going to put excessive wear on the drivetrain and the motor. Quick one. Matt, make a channel. There we go. Another $5 dono. Appreciate it, Gray.
Man, don't
Matt, actually,
don't put that evil on me.
don't put that evil. What are you talking about?
But I appreciate your money.
Yo, could you imagine us both making videos at the same time in the garage?
That'd
with
be so
different things?
difficult. We don't have a big enough house for that or a big enough garage.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
I'll
Anyways,
just try and be more like on his, and we'll go there.
perfect. See, anyways, this is where I'm jumping off, you guys. Anyways, if I did not get you guys the questions, I do apologize. Bring it to the next stream, and I will try my best to get through them all. If you guys do want to support the channel, feel free to swing over to the website, grab some merch because pre-orders end on Sunday night at midnight. So feel free to grab anything. Your boy appreciates it. Like I said, if it's anything I have in stock, it will ship out ASAP. But appreciate all the time, you guys, tonight. And with that, I will catch you guys in the next live stream, which Sunday night, like 6:30 PST, sometime around that time. So I'll catch you guys in the next one.